Let's look at the last block of the learning process in the second sub block, that is keywords or reserved words. We have seen character constants, we have seen variables, we have seen constants, the identifiers, and in one of the rules of identifiers we said that it should not be a keyword. Now what exactly we mean by this? Some words are used in C language for its own purpose. As the name itself says, reserved word, which means that C language has preserved some identifiers for its own task. We call these words as reserved words. There are totally some around 32 odd keywords in C language added to some additional keywords with C++. The 32 keywords which we are going to use in our regular session. Right now, the meaning of these keywords is not a relevant thing. You are supposed to remember what those words are, and whenever they flash in your mind, you should be able to identify them as keywords. Basically, whenever I write a keyword, make sure that these keywords are going to appear only in lowercase. The keywords will never appear in uppercase. Let's look at these keywords. In the very beginning, in some of the basic programs, we will be using the very first keyword as include. Then we will be studying a keyword called as define. We will be using a keyword regularly as void. Then we will be using a keyword called as int, float, char, long, signed, unsigned, short. Now these are the keywords which we will be saying in our initial programming part: include, define, void, int, float, char, or some people spell it as char, long, signed, unsigned, and short. When we move on with the future courses, definitely we will be learning keywords like if, else. Then we will be learning some more keywords like switch, case, break, default, continue, go to, for, while, do. Now all the second column keywords, they are classified as control instructions in C language. The control instructions use these keywords. Let me spell up one more time: if, else, switch, case, break, default, continue, go to, for, while, do. As we move on with a bit called as functions, there we'll be studying keywords like return. We'll be studying a keyword called as auto. We'll be having a keyword called as register. We'll have a keyword called as static. We'll have a keyword called as extern. All these are nothing but the keywords which we generally use with functions. Then in the last bit, we'll be using keyword called as struct. We'll have a keyword called as union. Now these are the keywords which are regularly used in our C language. Apart from this, in some special cases, we might use keywords like enum. We'll have a keyword called as type def. Right now, not necessary to remember the meaning of all these keywords. Whenever these words flash anywhere in your program, in the programming practice, you should identify them as keyword. All these keywords which I have listed out, they are going to appear in lowercase only, which leads us to an interesting question about C language. Is C language a case-sensitive language? Yes, C language is a case-sensitive language, and we can very easily justify with this particular title itself: keywords or reserved words. C language is a case-sensitive language. How? Let's look at this. Suppose if I write a keyword as int. Now we know that C language has reserved a special meaning for this. The special meaning associated with this is that this keyword identifies a variable of type integer. Whenever I had to declare a variable of some specific data type, I'll be using this particular keyword called as int. So C language identifies this as a keyword. If the same word is changed with its case, partially or completely, let me try this. Suppose if I say int, now here I've changed the keyword with its case partially, not completely. Remember this. Now let me try one more time by changing it completely. When I change the keyword partially or completely, C will not associate a special meaning with this. Now, these words are used as identifiers or variables, which means that you can store your own quantity at this place, which justifies that C language is a case sensitive language. Many times this question has been asked. Is C language a case sensitive language? You are not supposed to just say yes. You are supposed to justify that with an example. How? The example which I quoted this. Yes, you have to say that C language is a case sensitive language, and you can justify by using any one keyword out of those lists which I have described. Any one keyword, write that keyword and change the keyword partially with its case or completely with its case, and identify the keyword when it appears completely in lowercase and when it is changed partially or completely as a identifier or a variable which is used to say some quantity of user's choice, not a predefined value. And all these keywords are associated with a predefined meaning within the compiler itself. That ends up with the second learning block of learning process, that is constants, variables and keywords. Thank you.